and justice for all.
Third item is special orders of the day and announcements. There are none. Item 4A, under public hearings, please.
4A is a proposed ordinance amending the zoning district map for property located at 1800 Gateway Boulevard from R3 Low Density Multifamily Residential District to M1 Limited Manufacturing District. There is a request to have the first reading and suspend the rules for a second reading. Plan Commission recommended approval 4-0.
Thank you. Mrs. Christensen, please.
The city has applied for this rezoning for the property located at 1800 Gateway Boulevard from R3 Low Density Multifamily to M1 Limited Manufacturing District. The city's comprehensive plan shows this area as well as the property to the north as Gateway Business Park, or actually just Business Park. Earlier this year, there was a one-lot CSM that was approved for the property to the north, and then the council approved a rezoning of that property to M1, and this would just make both parcels consistent with the comprehensive plan. Plan Commission held a public hearing at its last meeting, and no one came to the meeting, and it was recommended unanimously for approval.
Thank you. At this time, I would like to open up the public hearing for item 4A. Is there anyone here wishing to speak on item 4A? Anyone wishing to speak on item 4A? Third and final call for the public hearing. Anyone here wishing to speak on item 4A? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing at this time and entertain a motion to suspend the rules. Before we do that, let's go into councilor comments or discussions since we have to suspend the rule. Any councilor have any questions or comments? Seeing none, is there a motion to suspend the rules?
So moved, President.
Motion by Vander Bogart. Is there a second? Second by Dench. All in favor of suspending the rules signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none. Now to the marriage. Is there a motion for approval? Motion by Johns, second by DeForest. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 7-0. Item 5 is citizens' participation. We have reached a point on the agenda where citizens may come forward and speak on any item that's not really on the agenda. The council will not act on your comments. It's just a listening session, and we will route your question to the appropriate department. Is there anyone here wishing to speak under citizens' participation? Seeing none, we move to item 6. Item 6 is consent agenda. All items listed under the consent agenda are considered routine and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered at this point on the agenda. Is there any counselor that would like anything removed from the consent agenda? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion by DeForest, second by Haynes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, consent agenda passes 7-0. Item 7A, please, under licenses.
Item 7A is a resolution setting return date and authorizing issuance of summons for an alcohol license sanction hearing for Musbah M. Abdul Rahim, doing business as Rock River Groceries, 1800 6th Street.
Thank you. Assistant City Manager Krieger.
City Attorney,
City Attorney, I am sorry. I knew I was going to say that when I said I apologize.
I've got a promotion. At the November 9th meeting of the Alcohol Beverage License Control Committee, they voted to recommend a 90-day suspension of the Class A beer license for Musbah Abdul Rahim, doing business as Rock River Grocery. The basis of the sanction are 4 underage sales within approximately a 3-year period of time, 2 of which were in the last 5 months. The purpose of the request tonight is to set a date and a time for the hearing, which has to be set no sooner than 3, no later than 10 days from today's date. We have tentatively set the date for December 13th at 6:30 p.m. if that is what council wishes. We've also retained Attorney Brooke Jost to advise the City Council during that hearing. Attorney Bill Henderson was unavailable that night.
Thank you. Is there any councilor discussion or comments?
I would move, Mr. President, to set the date for the hearing on the 13th of December at 6:30 p.m.
Is there a second? Motion by Vander Bogart, second by Johns. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the date is set for December 13th at 6:30 PM here in the council chambers. Thank you. Item 8, ordinances. Item 8A, please.
Item 8A is a proposed ordinance to amend Section 1.85, Parent 7, Parent A, and Parent B of the Code of General Ordinances of the City of Beloit pertaining to meetings of the Library Board. There is a request for the first reading and to suspend the rules for a second reading.
Assistant City Attorney Krieger.
It is Krieger.
Krieger, okay.
We're here tonight, we have a request to amend the place of the library board's meetings. When the library moved over to the Eclipse Boulevard location, the ordinance was not changed to remove the Pleasant Street address. So this is simply to clean up that ordinance provision.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
To suspend.
The rules for second reading.
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Now to the mayor.
Motion to approve?
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 9 is appointments. There are none. Item 10, councilors, activities, and upcoming events. Councilor DeForest.
Can Marty go first so you can introduce the program?
Okay, Councilor DeForest said let Councilor Dench go first, so Councilor Dench.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. I just want to point out an article that was in the newspaper, the Beloit Daily News last week, regarding collections for books to be distributed by the Salvation Army as part of their Christmas effort. These would go to needy children, in addition to the other things that that organization does to help poor during this time. They're collecting books. They specified used books. I would assume they'll collect new ones as well, or cash donations. You have until December 14th to do that. If you're donating books, you may drop those off in special collection boxes at the Beloit Daily News offices, Beloit Public Library, Grinnell Hall, Turtle Creek Books, Woodman's Food Store, the Save-A-Lot Store on Park Avenue, Shopko, Highlander Foods on Honeyneagle Road in Roscoe, or the Talcott Free Library in Rockton. I asked some of my fellow counselors if they'd be interested in donating to this cause also, to draw some public attention to it, and they've all agreed to support this program. We have some of the donations here. Dr. Seuss, a perennial favorite, of course, for many years. Olivia the Pig, for some lucky child. Olivia's a favorite in our household, even though we don't have children. And I also found a book by a local author, Ann Bowsam, on of course, Beloit's own Roy Chapman Andrews. Very nice children book for somewhat older children. So I'll be donating those, and I'll pass it on then to whoever else would like to speak on this issue.
Councilor DeForest.
I brought a book to donate as well. As many of you know, I'm a social worker, and this is a really popular book in the lobby area where clients are waiting to see me. And I love books that are multilingual. In this case, this book has Spanish and English, which is really nice. And you'd be surprised how many adults actually pick it up because they're interested to learn a little Spanish. So it's a great tool for those of us who want to learn a little more Spanish, as I have been working on my Spanish for many years with some limited success. But this is actually a Parent's Choice winner. It's called My House, Mi Casa. And it's beautiful because all the narrative is both in English and Spanish, and it has colorful pictures and lots of vocabulario. So this is what I'll be donating for the cause. So pleased to do that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Newman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I had an opportunity to attend the Beloit Casino Complex open house today. Nice attendance. They had a wonderful potluck sampling of foods. It's nice to see so many people that are so interested in the community, and they continue to push forward. And I had an opportunity to attend the Light Holiday Parade, one of my favorite nights, as many others, other people's favorite nights in the city of Beloit. Such a beautiful event. It was so well attended. There had to have been a couple thousand people down there. What I was struck by was the serious commitment to all of the floats and all the presentations. There were just some that just really just blew us out of the water this year, and people really stepped forward this year and showed a lot of community pride. Very nice. I'd also like to mention, speaking of downtown, this weekend is Holidazzle, Friday night, 5 to 9. There will be many artists throughout several of the different businesses throughout downtown. It's a nice time to socialize, opportunity to buy unique gifts for the holidays. Speaking of the holidays, I'd like to wish everyone a happy Hanukkah. And I've got one list here. And then lastly, I'd like to thank a great friend to the city of Beloit, Senator Judy Robson, for her many, many years of service to our community. She served with great honor and distinction at the state level, both in the Assembly and then later in the Senate, and as Wisconsin's first woman as the majority leader for the state of Wisconsin Senate. So congratulations to her on a great career. We wish her great success in the future, and we're very thankful. And all of her efforts we will experience throughout our community for years to come. Thank you very much.
Councilor Johns.
Thank you, Mr. President. I also had to bring in some books. Berenstain Bears is a personal family favorite in our household, so brought that in to pass along. And also I have it from a very reliable source that Hospital Hill will not be closed the entire winter. So I thought I'd pass that information along since it seems to be a very big concern in town. We just got hit early with snow. That's all I have.
Councilor Haynes.
Nothing to add.
Hey. Councilor Van Bogart.
Nothing to add either, Mr. President.
Thank you. And I would just like to say for councilors who did not bring in the books, I'm sure most of us are making financial donations, and Councilor did said he would go and pick up the books for us, and he's so nice. Also, let me apologize to the assistant to the city manager about my little slip up here. I knew I was going to do it when I said the assistant. It's just so I apologize. With that being said, that concludes the council's upcoming events and activities. We move on to item 11, reports from boards and city officers. 11A, please.
Item 11A is a resolution declaring doubtful accounts, authorizing amounts to be written off, and receiving and filing the 2010 report of the comptroller.
Mr. York, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Each year, as part of our year-end closeout and also in accordance with city policy, we review outstanding debts that are owed the city by individuals, and for the purpose of determining whether some of these debts are collectible still, and if not, we recommend to the council to write the accounts off as uncollectible. We have several housing rehab loans that are considered to be delinquent, and all these properties, there's about 7 properties, have been involved in foreclosures. So the lien that we had on the property is no longer enforceable. We still have a judgment lien against the individuals, but our Housing Services Department is recommending that we write these loans off as uncollectible. These were made under the city's housing rehab loan program, which is funded by a community development block grant, and also the home program that we use. The total amount of the write-off is approximately $80,000 for the 7 delinquent loans, and again, these have been involved in a foreclosure. The properties were sold at a sheriff's sale to satisfy the first mortgage holder. So if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer those, or attempt to anyway.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Comments? Hearing none, could I get a motion? Motion by DeForest. Is there a second? Second by Jench. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 7-0. Item 11B, please.
Item 11B is a resolution approving issuance of Community Development Authority of the City of Beloit, Wisconsin Recovery Zone Facility Bond, Kettle Food, Inc. Project, Series 2010.
Mr. Yankee, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. At your most recent council meeting on November 15th, council unanimously approved a development agreement with Kettle Foods, Inc. This agreement described the incentives provided by the city for Kettle to build a 45,000 square foot addition, invest over $38 million in private investment, and create 100 new jobs. Kettle is interested in financing up to $22 million of this project using recovery zone facility bonds. This type of financing is similar to industrial revenue bonds, where the financing is done privately between the company and a private financial institution. The benefit to the company is that they will be able to enjoy lower cost debt service. While the city will technically be the sponsor of this issue, this is a private activity bond, which the state will issue, and all costs associated with the debt will be the responsibility of the company. The city will not participate in any repayment, nor have any liability for repayment of this debt. This approval process will give the City Council President the authority to sign the appropriate documents. CD approved the initial resolution on October 13th. The Department of Commerce approved the issuance on November 1st. And on November 17th, CDA had a public hearing and unanimously approved the final resolution. As a final step in the public approval process, staff is recommending approval of the resolution.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Is there any questions or comments? Seeing none, I would like to entertain a motion. Motion by Noonan, second by Haynes. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 7-0. Item 12, the city manager's presentation, and as he prepared to make his presentation, I would ask all councilors to please adjourn into the...
And Mr. President, would you be so kind as to pull down the screen, please?
Sure. And then also at the end of the presentation, I will adjourn from the podium, so we don't need to come back down here just to adjourn, so.
Do you want me to take the mics down?
Yeah, or just push them down? That's plenty far.
Are you hungry for growth? Interested in expanding your development and investment perspectives? Then consider Rock County, Wisconsin's value proposition. Situated along the Wisconsin-Illinois border, just northwest of Chicago, Rock County is home to some of the most recognized food processing and technology companies. Deep agricultural roots, coupled with generations of advanced manufacturing skill sets and advanced transportation networks, creates an enriched food processing and technology environment. That's why over 10,000 food-related companies, with combined annual revenues totaling $10 billion, calling Wisconsin their home.
As a leading supplier to the global food and beverage industry, our success is dependent on bringing together our development technologies and application expertise to deliver solutions for our customers. The new Kerry Customer Center in Beloit, Wisconsin brings together all of these resources under one roof to serve our customers in North America. When determining where to build, we were searching for a location that had a solid infrastructure and a business-friendly environment, with close proximity to major international airports, and a community that offered a good quality of life for our employees. Rock County and the Beloit community matched these requirements and is proving to be a great location for Kerry to conduct business and for our employees to live.
Certified shovel-ready and turnkey industrial properties, complete with interstate access and visibility, multiple railroad providers, and a regional airport anchor Rock County's I-39, I-90, and I-43 development corridor. A host of incentives, including discounted electric power rates, can be packaged to accommodate capital-intensive and technology-enriched projects. 3 of the county's food and technology companies have achieved LEED certifications, demonstrating the emerging role that green building and development practices play within this industry cluster. Commitment from the public and private sectors continually ensures that the area's workforce possesses food-grade fabrication, production, and processing skill sets.
One of the main reasons we located here is just due to the workforce and the central location as far as logistics is concerned and raw materials. We have still have about a dozen employees from the original workforce here from 1974. And one of the biggest things that we've found as we've been here the last 30-some years is the availability of trained maintenance people has been really great around the area. Electricians, there's been an abundance of trained personnel in all areas, and it's really helped us become one of the best canning facilities in the whole company. Our apprenticeship program ties into very well what Blackhawk has to offer here in terms of classes, and we send all our apprentices there, and they can get 2- and 4-year degrees. Our electricians can also be trained through there, so that's been a real good fit for us as we try to train our people for more and more technology.
From grains to specialty crops, Rock County has the right ingredients to make your recipe a success.
We've been here for over 50 years in this location. Initially, our business was to sell birds to hunting clubs, and that was all it was about. It was live sales. But we always had a small presence in the food business. Never really built the business to any degree, but as the whole idea of healthy food alternatives came on board, eating venison or bison or ostrich, and there was more and more demand for pheasants. Here we are, why not, So we developed the technology, which was actually creating a bird that was for the food product business. We started shipping fresh dressed pheasants a little over 20 years ago on a weekly basis to distributors all over the United States, and really have been able to get that part of our business to be a big part of the overall farm operation. We're located on a corridor right near O'Hare Airport. I mean, from our door right here, we can be in O'Hare in well under 2 hours. And from O'Hare, you can get anywhere in the world with birds.
Our professional and seasoned economic development team has a solid track record as it relates to facilitating development projects, minimizing costs, streamlining the regulatory process, and packaging value-added assistance. Add your company to the sampling of food processing and technology companies that are growing throughout Rock County. Visit Rock County Development Alliance at www.rockcountyalliance.com.
That's the first of several that we're going to be producing. And again, the entire cost of this is being covered by Rock County 5.0. We're going to also do one for logistics, value-added manufacturing, plastics, healthcare, and value-added agriculture. There'll be more of these.
Thank you. With that said, I think that's a very good video to show once again, the positiveness of things that's going on in the city of Beloit. So once again, I would say to everyone viewing, if you ever want to know what's going on in Beloit, just take a ride around and you'll see the wonderful things that's going on in there, to a city that we all love so dearly. But I think this sends the message to everyone that can be seen at anywhere that we want it to be shown. So great job, and let's keep up the good work. Is there any other councilor questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, is there a motion for adjournment? Is there a motion to adjourn? Is there a motion by Van der Bogart? Is there a second? Second by Dench. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you. We are opposed.